Hello, and welcome to a video where we'll be looking at what we currently know about the Outlast Trials. We've done Outlast and the Outlast 2 Story Explained videos where we also looked at the Murkoff account to help us fill in some gaps. We know that one integral part of the story of Outlast was that the Murkoff Corporation was somehow involved in MKUltra, the mind control experiments conducted by the CIA during the late 1960s. We know that Outlast Trials will be set during the Cold War, which lasted from 1947 all the way through to 1991. The fact that it takes place during, at the very latest, 1991, I guess also puts to bed any speculation that we will see what happened to Blake after Outlast 2, as we can see from the Murkoff comic series that he was taken away to a facility. Also, Blake was born around the year 1985, so this would make him around 6 years old when the Cold War ended. It's slightly frustrating as well that we won't be able to see exactly why the Walrider decided to possess a colony of ants after the events of Outlast 2, but there we go. So the timeline currently looks like this, and the Outlast Trials fits in right here. As mentioned before, Murkoff were involved in MKUltra experiments, and from this promotional image for the Outlast Trials, we can see a person helping another up, but one of them has a bracelet on with a number attached and the initials MK. From another image we see more subjects with bracelets on too. Now these could be test subjects in the MKUltra experiment, hence the MK initials on the bracelet. It certainly makes sense given that this was Murkoff's main focus early on. Details are a bit fuzzy of course given that the game hasn't got an official release date yet, but it seems, at least to me, that we will find out really how involved Dr. Wernicke was. So on from mentioning Dr. Wernicke, we did gather from Outlast 1 that Dr. Rudolf Wernicke was a scientist who was working for Nazi Germany during the Second World War, but was poached by the US in 1949 so that they could use his skills and expertise against their enemies. This was a real-life US operation named Operation Paperclip. We know that he first ended up in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Now, many of you will know that Los Alamos was where the atomic bomb was made during the Second World War as part of the Manhattan Project. It was essentially a company town, one of many built across the US in that time to help struggling industries such as mining and logging. This one in particular was purpose-built to house scientists, so they could work and live in secrecy. The town was so secret, in fact, that it technically didn't exist. It didn't appear on mail, nor on driver's licenses. It was run by the US military. That explains why Dr. Wernicke ended up there due to his extensive research on nanotechnology. One of the areas the Los Alamos laboratory works on to this day is nanotechnology. Did Wernicke start all of this off? And is this where the Walrider was birthed? Just check this out. The Los Alamos National Laboratory is currently run by Triad National Security. Here is their logo. Now I've seen that somewhere before. We don't know where Trials will be set yet, we only know that the time period in which it takes place. However, we can see from this image of a street that it's some kind of set or stage, as there is a ceiling and a lamp indicating that this is part of a facility somewhere. Is this facility in Los Alamos? It's certainly plausible given what we've already discussed earlier. It's been confirmed that Murkoff are heavily involved in this story, and the 3 people noted in the promotional material are subjects who are trapped in a Murkoff facility. We can see that some of the potential enemies are wearing military type gear, and given that there was a huge military presence in Los Alamos during the Cold War, gives this added weight. The notes on this concept art shows devices strapped to their heads which indicate mind control and also detail emotional responses. We don't actually know who's in it. We see 3, I don't know what they are, scientists, doctors, attaching a night vision device to a subject's face. Anyway, we see at least 2 Murkoff symbols displayed here, one on their armbands and one on a folder. We don't know who these people are, but one thing I'm fairly certain of is Dr. Wernicke is involved here, as he worked at Los Alamos for several decades before retiring and then ended up in Colorado at Mount Massive Asylum, working for Murkoff when, in reality, he was working for Murkoff the entire time on MKUltra experimentation. But anyway, that's all I can find based off what Red Barrels have released so far. Either way, I'm super excited for this game. I know it's going to be amazing, I know it. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and like the video, share it, and post a comment on what you think will happen in Outlast Trials. But for now guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.